Hi, this is Steve from the Movie Dudes, and now I'm going to look at Batman. As a child, every Saturday morning I would rush to the TV and watch one of the best things I'd actually ever seen on the TV at the time, Batman, starring Adam West. It had the greatest opening of any show that I can remember as a kid. You were treated to an action-packed, semi-animated fight between Batman and Robin and all the potential villains you could get in that episode. Now, with the Batman of 1989 and the Dark Knight, we have grown up and we want our Dark Knight to be more serious and, well, dark. But as a 6-year-old, the only Batman that I had was a camp TV series with men in tights and cardboard sets. Can you imagine if Heath Ledger's Joker had strolled onto the set one day? It would have scared everyone's senses. Adam West, who can now be seen in Family Guy as Crazy Mayor West, plays Bruce Wayne and Batman. He has a very unique way of delivering his lines, almost Shatner-esque, with slight pauses, and always seems to hold his arm just below his chest, just across it. I never understood why he stands like that, but, you know, we'll let him off. The costume was not latex, leather or rubber. It wasn't even black. It was the classic comic book grey suit and dark navy mask and cape. It was definitely not suitable for spelunking, Mr. Wayne. Batman was always smarter than possibly he could be. He could always draw logical conclusions from the most obscure, absurd conundrums. Some of these things are highlighted in some of the riddles he manages to solve with Jeff Goldblum style chaos logic. The Batcave was one of the key sets of the movie, and I loved the way that there was always a secret switch in the fish tank or in the bust of like Shakespeare that would open up the bookcase and you'd slide down, and they would slide down as Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson and come out at the end fully dressed as Batman. That was fantastic. I don't know how they would have done that in real life. But the Batcave was obviously, it was a cardboard set, we all knew that, but it was full of weird and wonderful computers, chemistry sets and machines. They all had massive white labels on each of them that said Bat Computer, subatomic riddle solving device. They would all tell you exactly what they were. And that was a great thing from the show. Just, it didn't take itself seriously at all. And it really was just, everything they did was fun. And every week, although there would be something completely random, something Batman had never ever encountered before, he would always have what could potentially be $1 billion machine that just specialised in this one random thing, just in case this ever actually came up. Batman is not alone in the series. Just like the Joel Schumacher movies, he has his faithful ward Robin, played by Burt Ward. He spent the whole time saying holy something or other, and they actually reference this in Batman Forever when he says, "Holy rusted metal, Batman." What? This metal, it's full of holes, you know, holy. I thought that was actually a great nod to the original series. Robin was always getting caught up in sticky situations, and most of the time getting Batman caught as well. And then there'd be great scenes, you know, like in Goldfinger where James Bond has got the laser coming between his legs. Every week Batman and Robin would be tied up in a seemingly inescapable situation, and they would get out Austin Powers style. In fact, I think this series probably inspired Austin Powers a little bit more than some of the James Bond movies ever did. So Robin as well, just, I have to say this, he is literally wearing the shortest shorts I've ever seen a comic book character wear in my life. And with the yellow tights, it is so 60s and very, very quite revealing. Again, with this series, as in some of the earlier movies, the villains steal the show. The series had all of the Batman villains at some point or the other, but the most reoccurring and the best ones were Burgess Meredith, aka Mick from Rocky, as the Penguin, Cesar Romero as the wacky and over-the-top and not so serious Joker, who didn't even shave his moustache before having the Joker makeup applied. You had Frank Gorshin, who was seen in Star Trek as the Riddler, and Eartha Kitt or Lee Merriweather as Catwoman. But it wasn't only the human cast which remains ingrained in the minds of the audience even to this day. Whenever you see a reference to the Batmobile in something else, it is usually The same classic Adam West car, The Simpsons, Family Guy, Ultimate Showdown have all used this fin open-topped car as their iconic Batmobile of choice. However, Batman was not just limited to the streets of Gotham. He had the badass Batcycle, which still looks fantastic today, but he also had the Batcopter. Now, from what I can remember, the Batcopter, it pretty much was just a regular bubble helicopter with a Bat logo put on it. So, you know, not great, but for the 60s, badass. He had a Batcopter. And it wasn't just Batman that had kick-ass random over-the-top vehicles. In the movie, the villains got in on it as well, with the Penguin's flipper-powered submarine, again, which looks like it could have inspired Dr. Evil's submarine from Austin Powers' Goldmember. So the costumes are bright and over the top. Everything is shot from an angle. The set design, again, is bright and over the top. The plots are over the top, and to be honest, come across so tongue-in-cheek, the producers knew they were stupid, but had fun with it, and the fight scenes were over the top. The whole show is over the top. The whack, zap, pow fast became one of the most iconic parts of the show, and one of the most iconic parts of any TV show. And again, has been referenced so many times, more times than any of the current Batman movies. The theme tune as well is more recognisable than any theme tune from a subsequent Batman movie. It is more recognisable than even the excellent Danny Elfman score from Tim Burton's Batman. Now, we ask, will Robin ever appear again? Especially with the absolute disaster that was Batman and Robin. The Batman franchise has become so serious and works so well for us now, I doubt we'll ever see the boy Wonder and his holy shorts ever again. Or at least for a long time anyway, until Nolan moves on. The 1966 Batman is still as enjoyable to watch today as ever, because it is not to be taken seriously, and the zany performances work because the actors are aware of how laughable it is, but have fun with it, and they are such actors of quality, they can actually do what Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't do, be stupid, but come across as still being cool. Batman and Robin almost went back to this style of camp, silly, over-the-top Batman, but without the quality behind it, and if they'd thrown in Zap, Whack and Pow, it might have at least been understood as a comedy and a satire, rather than just a bad, failed Batman movie. As I've said before, the film Batman and Robin isn't bad if you're 6 years old. But still, if you're 6 years old, choose to watch the 1966 Batman movie, because it's more enjoyable and way better than Batman and Robin. And that's pretty poor. Sorry, Joel Schumacher. So I give this series 8 Robin Hot Pants out of 10, because it was a childhood favourite, and you can't pick on something for being so dated when it was supposed to be dated, and it was never meant to be timeless.